This is Bibi.
It's funny already, right? Mr. Netanyahu, this is Jimmy Dore.
Jimmy, my old friend, please call me Bibi.
Okay, BB. How are you, buddy?
I am doing quite well, thank you for asking. I have just returned from a pleasant visit to your quaint little country, very relaxing. But I must say, every time I go there, it just seems like you all need to be whipped back into shape. A lot of people have to have a stern talking to.
I guess
a stern BB talking to.
Are you talking about our president?
Who am I to name names? But yes, Barack Obama, that one. And right as I'm there, your country is racked by devastating terrorist attacks that only underscore the common threat facing both America and Israel.
You mean those dumpsters that blew up?
Yes, dumpsters. Next time, entire cities. You Americans, you're so cavalier. ISIS, Hamas, regular Muslim people just walking around. It's all the same threat.
Well, that's demonstrably untrue, Mr. Prime Minister. That is demonstrably untrue.
When are you going to get your shit together? Your president won't even declare a Muslim terrorist state of emergency after these attacks.
Yeah, probably because we don't have that. That's not a thing here.
You're so naive. Who do you think wants to bomb your malls and airports? Mennonites? Moonies? No, Muslims. The most dangerous of the M's.
What? I, for one, am glad that our president is not a fearmongerer, and that he hasn't used regular Muslims as scapegoats in this war on terror. That's what I'm glad of.
Be a liberal at your own peril, hippie. See what happens. But I'm looking towards the future when your disobedient peace frog is out of that office which is oval.
Well, listen, that leads to an interesting question, BB. What do you think about this election? I mean, who do you think Israel would work best with?
That is a good question. On one hand, you have Hillary Clinton.
Actually, BB, there are more than two choices.
Shut up. Zip it. Verschweigen. I'm the Prime Minister of Israel, for Christ's sakes. I have to deal with realities. As I was saying, on one of two hands, Hillary Clinton.
All right, fine.
Hillary Clinton has shown herself again and again to be a staunch ally of the Israeli people. Her neocon, war hawkish ways please me. She represents a political tradition, a way of conducting foreign policy in the Middle East that is familiar, workable, and I predict typically manipulable.
Yeah, tell me about it.
So I know that if she wins, somewhat of the roadmap that Israel and the United States will be looking at over the next 4 to 8 years. That is a good thing. Good thing for Israel. But conversely, I know also the ceiling that I will be dealing with. That is to say, the limits of what Israel can exact from POTUS. It will be a much higher ceiling than that Obama has afforded us, but that's certain, but a ceiling still.
Okay, all right, I follow.
But on the other hand, you have Donald Trump.
And what do you think about him?
There is much that is troubling about him. As your fellow comedian, John Oliver, so brilliantly and side-splittingly hilariously pointed out, the name Trump used to be Drum, which is German.
Right, okay.
The prospect prospect of an American president with a German last name is not a particularly pleasing one to my people, as I'm sure you understand. I don't think that is a precedent that anyone is very eager to set.
I believe Eisenhower was a German last name.
And what did Eisenhower ever do for the Jews? But beyond that, there is a disturbing rising tide of anti-Semitism in this alt-right movement that seems to be supporting Trump, and his campaign seems to be surreptitiously engaging them.
I can't argue with that one, actually.
But if we can look past that, a Donald Trump presidency might present Israel with some opportunities.
How so?
First of all, I have no reason to think there is anything anti-Semitic about the man personally. As far as any stances on Israel that he has voiced, there are no red flags. And he is a dullard and fed solely through his own ego, which is a type of man who is easily controlled if one knows what one is doing. And he is a bully like me, so I will know how to communicate with him. If everything falls into place, he could conceivably be the first American president to give Israel everything at once.
By Israel, you mean the hardline faction, right? Like the Likud party, which you represent? I mean, from what I gather, there are many Israelis who actually don't like the fact that their prime minister is a bully who's adverse to compromise and reasonable diplomacy. Am I right?
Fuck them. I'm the prime minister of Israel, they are not. And I see the possibility of a great ally in Mr. Trump. Say what you will about him, but he is a man who knows a good deal when he sees one. And if so, I have the deal of the millennium for him.
Oh yeah? What would that be?
If Trump, as president, spearheads America's acquiescence to Israel correcting the great error of that doddering fool Sharon, and allows us to proceed with the resettlement of the Gaza Strip,
You're kidding. You can't be serious.
and the bombing of Iran,
This is a nightmare.
then once his tenure as president is over, he will have the right of first refusal to build and run a Trump casino in Gaza City.
What? What?
The largest, most elegant luxury resort in the entire Eastern Mediterranean.
This is
Live life lavishly on the Levant. I can see it now.
this is disgusting, BB.
I'll be a partner, of course. I need a little nest egg for my own retirement.
Jesus, BB, this is insane. You're like a Bond villain.
Come on, Jimmy, come on. We'll have a comedy club. I'll give you 3 headlining weeks a year.
No way. No way.
Come on. I'm sure the region will be restabilized by then. A suite facing the sea, 10 grand in chips waiting for you. What do you say?
Can I bring my own opener?
Who do you think you are, Don Rickles? How dare you talk to me like that? I'll book a YouTube star who's never performed live before I give in to such demands.